All right. Well, it's Friday, the 9th of February. We are about, 1.5 weeks into the month. And so far, we can see that the monthly has traded higher, setting an all-time high, 50.20, which has been surpassed in the overnight session. As you can see right now, we're trading 50.28, even a little bit higher in the overnight session, but I typically don't count the overnight session as actual all-time highs. I'm only really focused on the cash session. So for as of right now, until the market opens, our high 50.20. Key levels to be watching, right? Previous month's high, which is sitting 49.57 quarter. As we switch over here to the weekly, we have 1 day left, right? Unless the market trades down and below and closes below the 49.80 quarter, then most likely we're going to end up with a +4 week. Key levels to watch: last week's high 49.97.75 and last week's close 49.80 quarter. Switching over here to the daily, you can see yesterday was pretty much an inside day, or not pretty much, it was an inside day. One tick off of the high at that 49 or 49 50.19.75. Very kind of neutral day, didn't really do anything, just kind of held the market higher pretty much all day. The settle yesterday was 50.17.75. And as you can see, and this is kind of something that we talked about yesterday as well, right, is where's the close on these profiles. That is, one of the most important details, right? We talk about really the four most important details: the open, high, low, close being, and the reason being, or the reason that I'm assuming that, and the reason I've kind of based my strategy around that, is because those are the four data points that everyone can see, right? No matter if you're trading, what type of trading you're doing, you're trading moving averages, momentum, Heikinashis, whatever it is, everyone can pretty much see the open, high, low, close. So it tends to be the four most important data points for the day. Now, yesterday, right, we opened inside value. We didn't really break value till the very end of the day during that M period, but we did close higher the previous day, closing around 50.17. You can see we had a nice 45-degree angle form. And if we were to put these profiles together, just like we did yesterday, right, we talked about how it was forming a big P shape. You could see it. Here's the stem of the P. We talked about how failure to close these single prints would indicate that there's still old business that needs to be conducted. We also have a gap. So there's still sellers that are stuck below that still have to cover. That would kind of hold us off some short trades until we got into those singles. So really there was not much to be done yesterday. A couple scalps here and there, but no real trades. Now into today, you can see the overnight session looks like to be gathering inventory below the settle. We break above the settle, back test it, and then traded up here 50.43-ish, but right now trading around 50.28. What's up, Kumar? And so some key things to note and key things that we want to be paying attention to coming into today is that we are most likely going to be opening up on a gap, right? And you ask, where have we seen this before? Let's go ahead and zoom the profile out and remember that we've seen this before. So we had this big day back here. This is back middle of January. We moved higher. We balanced for 2 days. We moved higher. We balanced for 4 days. We moved higher. Got that gap below. moved down, balanced for 2 days, kind of absorbing this whole balance, then moved higher. Market started to coil, and this is typically an indication of buyers kind of not showing up here. Sellers got a little bit too short, which is evidenced here when we smash these profiles together. You can see at the bottom of this distribution, you have a fairly clean kind of 45-degree line and a big ledge coming off that prior month's high. So this buying that's taking place, that's moving up, we can kind of assume that it's mechanical as of right now. So what that's telling us is that momentum traders are driving the market up. And we could see, and something you definitely want to be paying attention to as well is like, just because we assume that the trading is weak trading or short money, as I like to call it, doesn't necessarily mean they are wrong, right? They're not always wrong. It's just that they're typically getting in late here. So, right, if you figure this move, and this move really started, if we zoom out real quick before we jump into our plan, you can see this move actually started down here around 41.41. So if we were to take the whole move, you're looking at about 21%, right, from trough to peak here. And so that's not necessarily an indication that momentum traders are wrong here to get this continuation. It just is typically telling us that they're most likely late, right? And we're still assuming that the last big buy happened in here for strong money or long money, and also in this distribution and this distribution, right? Which is why we have these big gaps. We have a little gap here as we got a little bit of, I think, people trying to call the top, getting a little bit offsides caused that gap. And then today, looks like we're going to be having another gap. I know a lot of bearish sentiment's been kind of sitting in the market, so for one reason or another, I'm not sure. But so far, the market still kind of continues higher here. So as far as what we're looking for here, it's probably going to be play number 2, right? Which means we're going to be opening up outside of value, looking to test inside that value and to trade off of it. Interesting here today, though, is that we have a gap. So really the first look is going to be from this 50.25 area to this 50.28 area. If the market should hold that early on, I think we have decent opportunities for longs. My target up here is 50.59. That's that next equilibrium higher. I think that's pretty much where the market will go should we get this continuation above the Globex high. Below this, if we close the gap, we definitely want to be a little bit careful. We're using this kind of 50.12 as a line in the sand, right? Break below this 50.12, there's decent odds that we trade back into these singles. So we definitely want to be cautious if we're long below that 50.12. And then below that, you can look for acceptance in this lower distribution and then a test back into that gap. But remember, the first thing that we want to watch for today is that gap. If that gap doesn't fill, then we want to go with the gap, right? I think it's rule number 1 on gap rules is go with any gap that doesn't fill early. Well, that is what we'll be paying attention to today. But other than that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure you have a wonderful weekend. And, oh, hang on one second. What happens to BTC if it isn't respecting any resistance? Here, let's go ahead and pull up a Bitcoin chart real quick. So Bitcoin's kind of at the resistance now. You can see we had a nice 3 days. And this kind of area, this 47 area to like 46.9 area, yeah, is the area that I've had as resistance for a while. So really, if it's going to get continuation, I'd like to see it pop that 48.6, hold that, and then look to test next level up. Besides 50K, of course, 52,144 is the next level that I have up. And these are older levels too because we haven't been up here in a while. So definitely want to be at least paying attention to that. But as far as it not respecting any resistance, I'm not sure what level do you have as resistance. Because like the next level that I had after this big volume point of controller, really the only big level I have as resistance is this like 47.8 to 46.9. Yeah, just shoot me a message in the Discord or shoot me an email. I'll get back to you. But other than that, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Make sure you're managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. And I will see you guys on Monday.